All right, we are coming to you live with the Women's Riel Cup in Manitoba. We have Ghosted versus TMH. My name is Stacey Hewen.
And I am Marco Belanzio.
And we are going to be bringing this one to you. Now, Ghosted has had a real rough road to this championship today. They had one of their players, Bronwyn Fenn, ended up having appendicitis last night.
That's not good.
So Alicia Nash is going to be playing with Ghosted today. And it looks like we've got Kim Shesterniak knocked out by TMH. TMH, team comprised mostly of last year's winning team, which was Seven Deadly Sins. They are definitely one of the favorites to win this tournament today. Sarah Blelick was a pickup that they got from Wildfire. For people who aren't familiar, in the provincial championships in Manitoba, the team that wins gets to go, and they also get to choose any players from other teams that they want to round out their lineup to be the A team for representing Manitoba at the national event.
Absolutely. I'm Marco Belanzio joining Stacey. Fortunately, I have a few audio issues, so hopefully we're back on track right now. What promises to be an exciting tournament.
Absolutely. Coming off the side here, you'll notice a few key ball retrievers, also colloquially known as shaggers. Andrew McLaren there in the Team Canada jersey. That would be Julie McLaren's husband. And we've got Eric McEwen there, who is the fiance of Alicia Nash. He won MVP at the men's provincial tournament last week.
So a very close community, you could say. Absolutely. A lot of friends, a lot of relationships going on around here. So
right,
you can say we're very tight knit.
So a nice counter there from Lecuyer onto Burnett. Now team captain there, we've got Chantal Benjamin. She had put this team together. I believe the name is a little salty. She had a team together before called Beauballon, which would be a Harry Potter reference to Beaubaton. And then a bunch of the players just left and went to other teams with no notice. So she put together Ghosted after being ghosted.
Also very, very solid jerseys. I know the community was a huge fan of those. There have been a lot of extra orders.
-1 is a jersey. I never realized you could get negative numbers.
Oh, you can do whatever you'd like with them. I know for our men's team's jersey, the Avengers, we had a request to have the infinity symbol for Thanos. And I didn't think it was possible, but once we ordered it,
it's just a sideways 8.
Absolutely. We actually ended up using an infinity symbol, but yes.
So for anybody wondering, TMH stands for the Madhouse. And we have Lecuyer calling out a play to Debates. Debates takes a shot. Benjamin goes underneath it. Lecuyer blocking. You'll notice that she tries to cut off the lane there. So she's providing protection on the way back for the guard who just released the shot. Burnett and Nash coordinating. Nash throws first and Burnett follows up. If you have a stronger throw than the person that you're throwing with, sometimes it's good to stagger it so that they arrive at similar times. Or if you have similar strength throws, sometimes you want to stagger it so that one arrives a little bit after the first throw.
Absolutely.
TMH really just showing their stuff today.
Definitely making good use of their guard situation, crossing. They ended up getting 2 hits, 2 solid hits there.
I believe TMH might actually have the largest roster of this tournament with 9 players.
Oh, those look like it, yeah.
Yeah, Hanzik taking a hit there. And Nash getting up, thinking twice about throwing at Lecuyer, but not realizing that she's as deadly from her knees as she is standing straight up.
Absolutely. You know what? A lot of people say negative things about having such a large roster, but in tournaments that are this long, it definitely helps. You are fairly fatigued by the end of it. So having that good solid rotation going on not only keeps teams guessing, but helps the energy levels.
Right, so with 9 players, you'd be playing 2 rounds and sitting 1 if everybody's sitting equally. Whereas with an 8-person roster, you're going to play 3, sit 1. So you actually play 50% more on an 8-player roster.
You do.
At the end of a tournament, though, that can be the difference between having a team that feels fresh versus having a team that is tuckered out. My men's team went into provincials with 7 players, and by the first round of playoffs, we were running out of steam. And with 1 player injured, that meant that there were no breaks.
And that's another point, right? Injuries. So you have that extra spot in the roster, definitely helps should something happen.
So you'll notice in the left guard position on the stream in the far right corner on Ghosted, we've got Megan Thompson. There's a woman with a deadly throw I just don't think she's that well known in the community, but she could definitely get a lot more respect for her skill than she seems to get. Oh, and Miranda Fogg there with a hit and a catch, just beautifully executed.
Well, it's funny that you mentioned her throw specifically. Never have I seen such a nice curve come through once. I know we were playing in the draft league. Was not expecting it at all. Just a curve. I stood where I thought the ball was not going to go, and she got me 2 or 3 times that.
And Kim Shesterniak with a dirty block. So they're switching sides every half because on one side we have a curtain and on the other side there is a net. Now the intention of both of these devices is to prevent the balls from rolling back to the other side like they would if they hit a solid wall. However, a net has different properties than a curtain. And so to keep things fair, they're going to be alternating every round during round robin, but then during playoffs is when they will actually be just playing with each team taking one half for one half of the game.
Exactly, and we do have Twitch open, so if you do have any questions, feel free to send us there. Ooh, nice double hit by TMH. Just type it up and we'll do our best to answer them. So TMH looking very deadly right now. Ghosted down to 3 players.
So there are a few jerseys on Ghosted where the names don't line up. Again, like I said, they had a rough road to this championship, so they do have a few players sparing in. Megan Debates, real aggressive. So you'll notice wearing the number 7 Schmidt jersey is actually Tran. Josh Schmidt is her boyfriend. He ordered a support jersey for Ghosted when they came out, and I guess she got it. Oh, and Melissa Matthew hitting Miranda Fogg. Melissa Matthew has an interesting name. It's Mathew. You have to imagine how many times people just spell it Matthews with 2 T's. There's no S and there's 1 T.
Definitely an interesting tidbit there.
McLaren's taking her tongue out, giving us a little dance, really playing it up for the crowd. So TMH has a really solid lead right now. Oh, and Yule with a nice hit on Thompson off the rush.
So Yule has a very nice low throw that honestly when she throws you don't expect it, and you got to be ready to either just jump down on your knee pads, ready to block, or she's going to get you like 80% of the time.
And Ghosted comes up with 1 pump fake before they throw. And you'll notice that one player there in the middle was keeping both balls before passing one off. So you have to keep the pressure on if you want to defend yourself. The moment you take your eyes off or you start passing a ball to another player, your defenses are down. So they're calling out a play right now. And they're using the fakes to try and elicit throws from the other team. Maybe get yourself more balls on your side. Perhaps get them to throw when it's not their turn so that you can have some balls in hand when you're blocking.
So Ghosted up right now. There was a counter dodge, but
there you go. And Lukuye hitting Benjamin. Matthews taking up her position. See, I did it. It's Matthew, not Matthews. Matthew takes up her position.
Well done.
Nash coming up to the line. Bit of a muffin shot. Nash, again, like I said, last minute pickup for Ghosted as Bronwyn Fenn came down with appendicitis last night.
It's very, very sudden.
Absolutely brutal. What a time for your appendix to give up on you. Do you know what the appendix is for?
I do not actually. I'm not very medical savvy.
Neither am I. But I did read somewhere that there's evidence suggesting that the appendix is there to help digest grass and other bits of stuff that would have been on our food back when we ate food before, cooking it. So, you like some berries and there's some leaves in there,
So I guess it makes sense why you can take it out without, it being super vital. Just don't eat grass after?
Tran bring the ball all the way back, looking a little unsure of her footing on the way back. Now, you see Thompson in the right guard position. She is, you can see she was just hiding behind the ball there. She wasn't faking. When you're in the guard position, you really need to be using that ball to lock down your opponents, to threaten them. If you're just using that ball to keep yourself alive, you're not helping your team out in any way.
Exactly.
All right, Thompson trying to call out a play. There you go. Tran picks up the ball. And it looks like Megan Thompson on the left, no P, and Janelle Thompson on the right are the two guards right now.
Yeah. And it's not just from the guards. You also want, as soon as you have those extra balls, there, double hit.
Nice hit on Rodlin Aaron there. And then the second hit bounced off of Aaron into McLaren, but the reason why that ball was still live is because the first ball that hit Aaron hadn't died yet.
Yeah.
That's right. The ball has to die before it kills you as a player. Once you are killed as a player, you're a dead object, and balls that come off of you are no longer live.
So this game
nice
very much one of timing. If you do get hits and the ball pops up, I see a lot of players just walk off. They feel like they're defeated. You are still alive until it hits the ground, like you mentioned earlier. So if you can make a throw, make it connect, you might take somebody out with you, and who knows? You might be brought back in through a catch, depending on where it goes.
And Fogg just hit Thompson on the ankles with a beautiful low shot.
So we got an even match here, 4v4.
They come to the line, Ghosted takes a shot, Thompson releases, but Debates punishes. Megan Debates, a very effective left guard. Left guard, probably the most important position on a team. Given that most players are right-handed, if you play, and again, Debates is racking up the kills. Right-handed players, when they stand with a proper throwing stance, are going to face in when they're playing the left guard position. So that means that you're likely to have a ball, you're also likely to be viewing the whole court. Hamzik with a nice block from that cross court that Yule sent her way.
She is the only one left right now, let's see.
So when you're playing in the guard position, right or left, it's very important that you worry more about keeping your team alive than yourself alive. And Hamzik can't put it past Debates' casting abilities. And TMH is going to keep their foot on the gas here. Taking an early lead with a big point differential is going to keep them at the top of the standings, which is just going to feel real good.
Exactly. Every point matters in this tournament. Much like Worlds, much like anything else, you do want to rack that up in round robin because you never know where it's going to matter.
Sports psychology, so important. So you notice that ball went through the game, but they didn't stop. Referees are the ones who stop play, not the players. And so you just need to ignore a ball that comes into your court until they either stop play or it goes out on its own. Or there's a lull in play, that's when the referee will stop.
And much like the men's tournament last week, referees have been instructed to not stop just due to time limitations unless absolutely necessary.
Yeah.
That one was pretty close.
He's going straight through. The retriever on the other side was ready for it. Fogg with a nice clean single ball block. If you want to see how to block properly, you should watch that one again. You put the ball in front of you, both hands on it, tuck your elbows in, push the ball down to the ground. Ooh, that double was just brilliant off of Tran into, that was Burnett. Benjamin calling a play. Thompson taking a nice shot on Fogg, but it's Matthew who connects on the ankle shot afterwards. Ghosted down to 2 versus 5. Benjamin pushing a hard shot there, but looks like she got countered. Wasn't sure what happened, but I believe ends up going out.
So TMH with the plan here. They do connect.
TMH at this point doesn't really need to be strategizing super hard. It looks like what they're doing is they're just picking shots. When you have that level of talent on your team, when you're coming in there as the favorites, the top dogs, oftentimes all you need to do against newer teams is to just wait for them to make themselves vulnerable and then punish.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, just wait for a whiff and then punish. Like it's same as any fighting game, really.
True. You go for the counter game, right?
Now, Janelle Thompson is one of the stronger throwers on Ghosted. I know they've got her in the opening rush, but it might not be a bad idea for them to switch out somebody that perhaps has either a weaker throw or is faster to the line, or maybe is just a little bit better at dodging. She is just getting destroyed off of that opening rush. Another tactic you can do, this is ultra defensive. It's not a great tactic, but if you're getting destroyed off the rush, put all 3 balls together and have a single player run for them. Megan Debates putting a ball past Benjamin's blocker, but Benjamin was faking at the time, so she wasn't able to get the ball into the correct blocking position.
And it makes a huge difference when you make little changes like that. I know last week when we played in the men's tournament, the Avengers were going up against Apex, and Apex had Colton rushing for the ball, and we were able to pick him up fairly easily. And then they made a quick adjustment where he was going to play in the middle, and they just took point after point after that. Just small little tweaks like that.
People need to be watching Miranda Fogg right now. She is demonstrating how to block with a single ball flawlessly. Aaron there with some nice protection. Now, Rodlin Aaron would normally play right guard on most teams. They have her as a center, obviously, since she's one in from right guard. That's where she'll rotate out if Fogg gets hit. I don't feel like she's being used to the best of her ability here. However, I do think she's absolutely on the best team for her.
Yeah, but that's also where you see a big difference between these two teams. You have their middles going up, throwing those fakes, providing that protection instead of just standing back.
Right. Okay, so now we're going to get to see Aaron in the right guard position. And a lot of players who play right guard, it's perhaps because they're a weaker guard, but on TMH that is not the case. Miranda Fogg, probably the strongest right guard out there, backed up by Rodlin Aaron. Again, very, very strong right guard.
But you saw that solid timing timing throw by Courtney Saracen there. Nice little waterfall movement, just enough time to get your opposition to either look away or be distracted by a block so you can try and connect on that hit.
All right, Saracen calling a play. TMH back up to the line. Saracen makes a nice hit on Matthew. And you can see Aaron staying up just a step ahead of her team. She's cutting off that lane until they're reloaded. So that's, like I said, she may not be used to the best of her ability because she can't be in her natural position. But the moment that Fogg is down, you've got Aaron in there and you are no weaker than you were before. Another reason to have a big lineup is you can just put these players into these positions and you don't end up having a middle playing guard when you're low. And there we go, Aaron with a nice rush counter, and she does that. Her throw isn't the hardest, but it is accurate, and she can put it past blockers easier.
I look at the pressure Courtney Saracen is putting up there.
Trades for Burnett. Burnett, unfortunately, doesn't have the players behind her to trade. You'll see that from Rainbow Thunder. They will look to get into a position where they are up by one player, and then all of their plays after that point are how to force one-for-one trades.
Exactly.
Actually, very much like chess. Amanda First used to have a mixed team that she called Chess Club, and I wonder if that's a reference because in competitive chess, all you need to do is get up a single piece. It doesn't even matter if it's a pawn. You get up one piece, and then you just do even trades all the way through.
Exactly.
And you just trade down until you have one more piece than the other player. And
we do have a question from Chad coming in. What does TMH mean?
The Madhouse!
The Madhouse, indeed.
Sorry, I believe it's pronounced The Madhouse!
Was that like slight Borat at the end?
No, actually, that's more like DJ, like, hey, party people, we're in the Madhouse tonight. So, boys, grab your girls, coming on down. And that is game.
They don't pay me enough for this.
Decisive victory for TMH. The Madhouse taking a 9-0 lead over Ghosted. Ghosted not able to confirm any points. TMH off to a great start. They're going to be feeling good about this. Every women's team is playing every women's team in the round robin today, so there can be no arguments about seeds.
Yep.
And then the playoffs will be seeded. So, you know.
Based off results.
Yeah. Single elimination, I do believe.
Yes.
So, realistically, they're looking to stay in that top position because they're hoping to be placed against the lowest seed.